Hi, and welcome back to our DIY series here at the Children's Science Center Lab. It's me, Audrey, again, here to show you an activity you guys can do at home about making your own bird feeder. I don't know about you, but I love going in my backyard and hearing all the different types of birds calling, and it's great when I get to see them up close in some of the trees I have. Now, when you have any type of bird feeder, it's important that we're taking the right type of seed to feed our birds. Now, I just had a store-bought bird feed that I got. It's got sunflower seeds, some other actually has fruit in this one too. If you don't want to go out and buy any type of mixed bird seed, sunflower seeds work just as fine. So what you're going to need for your do-it-yourself bird feeder is any type of jug. This is my example one I've already put together. We're going to use a small water bottle, so there's a plus. You get to reuse a plastic piece that maybe you would only use once. Again, some type of bird seed. You're going to need some type of dowel, like I just have a dowel stick that was really long. I just cut into smaller pieces. You could use popsicle sticks. If you have any extra long wooden spoons, you can use those too. You're going to need a push pin so you can make small holes in your plastic water bottle, and then scissors to help you make those holes a little bit bigger. The last thing you'll need is some type of funnel to help you get your bird seed into your water bottle. You can use a funnel if you have one. I'm just going to use a piece of paper that I'll roll up and have someone else help me with that to get the bird seed all the way in. All right, so the first thing you need to do is make sure you have an adult to help you with this because we are going to be using sharp items. With your bird feeder, you're going to need to make sure you put a couple holes in the bottom. You use your push pin, just go ahead and make, I'd say 4 or 5 holes in the bottom. And this is for drainage. That way you can leave your bird feeder out in any type of weather, especially like if it's raining. That way water doesn't collect in your bird feeder, make it too heavy, make that seed all soaked up, and that way it can drain right out. So now I have a couple holes in the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and start making the holes for the perches. So first thing is I'm going to take my push pin and just make a little hole in the side. I'm going to go ahead and find the opposite side of where I just made that hole and make a second one. Now this is definitely important for us to have our adults with us because we are going to use a sharp scissor to help make that hole a little bit bigger. So you're going to take your scissor, just push that into the hole, make it big enough so that whatever type of dowel or popsicle stick, whatever we're using, can fit snugly in there so it's not too loose that it'll fall out. All right, so I've got one on that side. Now the trick is trying to find the hole that you made before. All right, so I've got one on this side and one here. I'll do one about this level and then I'm gonna make another one go in the opposite direction, kind of a little bit higher up. Again, you can use any type of bird seed you could find at your local bird store or pet store, as well as if you just want to use sunflower seeds. Those will attract lots of different types of native birds to your yard. All right. A couple different types of native birds that you might be able to see and attract to your yard might be cardinals or chickadees, even finches, maybe bluebirds, different things like that. All right. All right, there we go. Almost lost it. All right, so now I've got one can go through here. Again, if I use some sticks that I cut in half, so the ends might be a little bit sharp, so just be careful if you're gonna do that too. All right. So now we've got our perches made. Next thing we need to do is make a hole about, I'd say 2 or so inches higher than where your perches are. That way your birds can actually get to the bird seed. So on this one that I already finished, oh, my bird seed. It's okay, we're gonna make a mess. Science is messy sometimes. So you wanna make sure there's a hole there so that when your bird sits, that they can then get into the jug so they can get to that bird feed. All right, so again, we're gonna use our push pin, make a small hole about 2 or so, maybe 3 inches higher than your perch. Make sure that hole is a little bit bigger with your scissors. And now we're gonna take our scissors and actually cut out a piece of that plastic. Always want to be careful when you're using scissors. Don't cut towards your fingers. Make sure your fingers are out of the way. As well as when we cut plastic, it does end up being a little bit sharp. So make sure that we're being careful with those sharp edges. And I'm going to make sure that there aren't any kind of poking pieces out of it. That way when the birds go to get their food, they aren't going to hurt themselves either. All right. So got one on this side. Let me do the other side. Now you can use any type of plastic bottle that you like, any size. See, I used a bigger bottle for one that I pre-made. Just gonna use a smaller one for this. If you want, you can also decorate your bottle too. You could put colors on it. You could put different items on it to make it more appealing to birds. Birds in particular actually like colorful items. You may have heard of some types of birds collecting colorful pieces like ravens. They find them interesting. Sometimes they'll use them in mating behaviors, or they'll use them to kind of decorate their nest. So we can make this nice and pretty. All right, so I have 2 feeding holes up here, and then I'll do 2 more so that we have our bottom perch. They can use that too. There we go. Now you may be wondering, well, why do I want to make a bird feeder, right? Well, birds are really important for the environment. There's a couple different things that they can do. First thing is they help pollinate, especially birds like hummingbirds. They carry different pollen on them when they get nectar from flowers. Also, something that's kind of funny to think about, kind of gross, but hey, we have to think about when we think about animals, is when they go ahead and eat seeds, it's got to come out the other end, right? So when they eat seeds, fly somewhere else, and then poop those seeds out, now those seeds are somewhere else. They're dispersed to a new place, so that plant can grow there. Birds are also an important part of the food chain. They eat lots of things and lots of things eat them. So we want to make sure that our bird population is nice and populated so that they can keep bugs and other types of things in check, as well as be food for other types of animals. All right, almost done. I want to make sure we have enough space for the bird seed to come out of our feeder. Go. All right, so now I have large holes for the birds to eat out of, as well as the small holes to hold on to the dowels they can sit on. The last holes that we need to make in here are up at the top, and this is going to be for the string that we put through like this so that we can hang our bird feeder. Now you're going to want to make sure to hang your bird feeder up off of the ground, because you will have some unintended guests to your bird feeder, like squirrels or chipmunks, who want to try and get that food as well. All right, so again, we're gonna use our scissors, make that hole just a little bit bigger. You can use any type of string for this. You could use yarn, you could use a really strong fishing line if you wanted to. Something that you know is gonna be sturdy enough so that when birds are sitting on this and holding on to it, they're not gonna fly off. So I'm gonna use some thick yarn today. Thank you. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut a nice big long piece of yarn here. You can always cut a little bit longer than you need to. You can cut excess off. And then what I'm gonna do is just feed this through. And it kind of helps if you take the top of the water bottle off. You can then I'm gonna use my little push pin to help me see if I can get that string through. I'm gonna practice our fine motor skills today. Make this hole just a little bit bigger. So now that I've got my string through, ooh, almost missed one piece. There we go. Now that I've got my string through, I'm just gonna pull that up top, make a nice knot. That way it's sturdy and it's not gonna fall off the tree. There we go. All right, now, last thing to do, add our bird seed. So I have some store-bought bird seed again. There is sunflower seeds, some peanuts, some other types of seeds in here. Again, those sunflower seeds are actually what's gonna attract most of your seed-eating birds. And in this, since it's nice that there are lots of different types of seeds, I'm gonna attract different types of birds with different eating styles, different beak shapes. Because different types of food, whether they be sunflower seeds or larger nuts, like this one, have to have different shapes of their beak to eat it. Think about if you're gonna try and eat a really large, let's say almost walnut, you'd have to use your back teeth nice and be able to chomp that down compared to eating something really small. So birds' beak shapes are dependent upon what they're actually going to be eating. Something tiny. All right, so this time it's good to have a friend help you out. So I'm gonna ask Lahiri to come help me. Thank you, Lahiri.
Of course.
All right.
Thank you.
So what she's gonna do is hold that funnel. I've just taken a piece of paper and twisted it up. And you're gonna take your bird seed, just pour in the top of that funnel. You're gonna wanna go ahead and fill all the way up. This is the part where it gets a little bit messy.
Well, like you said, science is messy.
There we go. So this is a good activity you guys can do outside too if the weather is really nice. All right, so you wanna try and get as much of that bird seed out of your funnel as you can. Go ahead and put the top back on. Find a good place outside, a good nice sturdy branch, maybe somewhere where you see birds already visiting.
It can be a branch.
All right. Here's gonna be our branch. Hang that up there, and then go enjoy the birds that come visit your yard. Thanks for joining me today and making your own backyard bird feeder. Have fun.